Well, hello again, everyone. Today I'd like to share with you a story that I found very encouraging, and I hope that you will too. It has to do with the day that Saul was anointed the first king of Israel. And undoubtedly that day began for Saul like any other. He got up, probably had some breakfast, and then head out to his father's field to tend livestock. But on this particular morning, Saul's dad had a special assignment for him. You see, overnight some donkeys had gotten lost, gotten out, and Saul's dad wanted them back, so he sent Saul looking for them. Before he left, Saul gathered some provisions and took a servant, and off they went in search of lost donkeys. And after several days of unsuccessful searching, they were out of food, and Saul was out of patience. He was ready to call the whole thing off, quit, and head home. Listen as I pick up their story in 1 Samuel chapter 9. Come, let's go back, or my father will stop thinking about the donkeys and start worrying about us. But the servant replied, Look, in this town there is a man of God. He is highly respected, and everything he says comes true. Let's go there now. Perhaps he will tell us what way to take. Saul said to the servant, If we go, what can we give the man? The food in our sacks is gone. We have no gift to take to the man of God. What do we have? So you see, when Saul was frustrated and discouraged, it was actually his servant that suggested they seek out the will of God. Yet Saul was hesitant to do so because in that tradition, you couldn't approach the prophet of Israel without a gift, and they had none. And it was the servant's next response that really caught my attention, and I hope you'll listen to it as well. The servant answered him again. Look, he said, I have a quarter of a shekel of silver. I will give it to the man, so that he will tell us what way we should take. A quarter of a shekel. It's simply 1/10 of an ounce, and even today, 1/10 of an ounce of silver is worth only about $1.50. It's a tiny sum, but likely everything that the servant had, and yet he was willing to give it to Saul. Please note, he wasn't required to do so. He wasn't expected to make this offer. He was not even asked to do it. So it begs the question, why did he do it? Why give all that he had? And Scripture admittedly doesn't tell us here, but I think it's reasonable to presume that the servant wanted to see his master fulfill his mission. He didn't want to see Saul return to his father empty-handed. And isn't that what faithful servants do? They bring what they have, their time, their treasure, their talent, whether it be large amounts or small, and they place it into the hands of their master so that the master's mission might be fulfilled. And because of that humble servant's willingness to give, Saul was anointed king of Israel that very day. Friends, Saul and his servant didn't get up that morning expecting anything other than donkeys. One of them ended up a king, simply because they were faithfully doing the next right thing. They were obeying the command of the master. And I think the application is obvious for us here. Are you and I willing to bring what we have to the master and give it to him for his service? Remember, God is able to do great things, even with $1.50. Until next time, keep your heart teachable.